You want to make a bag like this? It's very simple. First, I will hide these so that we can make our bag. We add a cube. We make sure that cube is centered. Your project should open automatically centered. If you need to recenter, you press Shift C to recenter. So it's not a big a deal if it doesn't center. So cube. I like to put it above the line. It just feels better to me. This bag that I'm making is a little bit shorter than a normal bag. And it's a little bit wider than a normal bag. So we get top view. We want to shrink it in slightly. And then we want to add extra bags to the sides. Like show, maybe a bit bigger. Let me look at the reference again. Yep. Also, don't be afraid to use reference. Without reference, we probably wouldn't even know how to draw people. So, reference is very important. Let me grab this. We want to put it to the line here because when we separate, when we, what's that thing called? When we subdivide the surface, we want it to subdivide as close to that corner as possible. So what I mean by that, I will show you. We want to also put one in the middle to keep it all more square than anything. Actually, I'll demonstrate that. So we go to the modifier, which is the little wrench here. Then we go to subdivision surface. And you see it gives us a bag looking like that. And if we add another line, it makes it a bit more closer to the edge, more square. And I think that looks a lot better than it did. The bags on the side, however, need to be more square. And I think that's good. I think it needs to be, yeah, a little bit less round. That should be good for now. Yeah, that all looks pretty good. Top, I think, no, yeah, that's good. So we scale it. Do we want that? No, that's a bit too much. So we press Control A while hovering over here so we can assign it. And now for the fun part, adding colors. So we need a red. We need a black that is shiny. We need another black that is matte. We need a white that is shiny. And we need a yellow that is also shiny. And then from these colors, we can pick what we want to have happen to what part. So we need this side to have extra colors. So we want to divide that by 3. Yes. Divided by 3. Oopsies. Then we want to select a thin layer on the top, a thin layer on the bottom, and then we want to put that another thin layer, maybe, yeah, close to the edge. Maybe we do like that. And then another one in the middle of that, another one in the middle of that, and then we select all of this. Oh, actually, firstly, we want to select these, because these ones will be the same. But they don't go as far out. And then we can select these ones. And then we select shiny black and press assign, which then assigns the selected parts the colors. Also, it has this shape on it. We don't want that, so we want to smooth it. Once we smooth it out, we can then press the corners here to make the corners feel more separated. We press space, mark sharp, and we mark a sharp, and then it gives us this line that we can work with. And then I believe if we do this and that, we just move that together and it moves nicely along. And now it looks separate but also together. And now what I want to do is Control B so we can have like this. Actually, you know what? Let's get it to the end here. Control B. Yep. And then we Alt, Shift Alt, and then do Control B once more to get that rounded zipper going. And I think that's probably too much. Oh, it's not registering. Let's symmetrize. And then try that again. Yep. I think we don't need the whole zipper, just the outer part. Maybe, no, that should be fine. Like that. And select again. Oh my lord. I was not paying attention over here, but that is fine. We can do this. Select. And then we want the mat because this is the zipper. Assign. And now I gotta fix this part. G. All done. Now we have a zipper at the top. And then we want the colors. Select face. Select Control, click, Shift, Control, Shift, Control, Shift, Control. And this is the bright color. We can go Shift, Control. Then this one, Assign. Now it has the reflectives on the outside. I think that yellow is not quite yellow enough. There we go. Much better. And now that we have this sorted, we need the zippers. So we select, face on, and deselect this. And then we can go to the matte black, assign, and then we have zippers. It's really that easy. It's really that simple. You can even shorten the zippers a little bit if we want to. And then this fancy little thing, we want the little tabs on this side. So we just extend, 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 and we merge it down if we can. Like that. And then what you want to do is select the tab and then also make it the matte black. We can keep it like this, or if you don't like it being exposed like that, you can just press F while holding onto an edge and it will fill the gap. So F for fill, easy to remember. And then we have those. Now you're thinking, that's all good and all, but my bag has straps. Well, straps are actually very easy to make. So we can add a curve. I don't know how to do this without, you know, causing issues. So I like to select every edge, press G, and then just click. So it's all easy to manipulate, otherwise it would be stuck on a certain surface. And then we want to squish it. And then we want to select these and squish them in. And these we can squish in as well. But it's got too many sides, so we turn this down to 2. And now we can easily see what needs to be squished. And I think that's good, like that. Maybe it's a bit big, we can make it smaller, bigger, however you want to make it. I think that's good. And now we add another curve called a path. This path can act as just the strap itself for the bag. And if you want it to go over your shoulder, you would like, you know, design it so it goes over the shoulder. So you would have the strap, probably if you have this side on the front, you'd have the strap come over in the corner. Again, you could also add it to a bone's weight after the fact if you don't want to do it like straight away. But yeah, you could design it in such a way where it is just doing the thing. If you want the tabs on the backwards, you would do that. It's very simple. But then we want to go into the arms. I like to do 5 for these top straps because it makes it less polygons, so it's easier to render for your computer, and it also just it keeps it pretty much smooth. So we go down to bevel. We want object bevel. We want it to be the circle that we made. You should only have 1 circle. I have 2 because my other one is hidden. And then we can do that. You do one of 2 things with the attachment. You could just be lazy like I do and just leave it as is and just say like, oh yeah, just squeeze it down and maybe make that closed and be like, yeah, it's attached to it now, so it's all good. Or you can go sicko mode and just create this loop and then, you know, make everything fit with it. And make the clip that goes over it. You can then just thread the clip through that and attach the clip to the bag, which gives it more of a realistic look. You can make the clip pretty easy. Just get a cube, make it flat, and then just something like that, and then make your clip. Something like that. That's a very simple, easy clip. Yeah. Make that a bit bigger, make that a bit longer. And the cool thing is, it's like, you can do whatever you want with it. Like, there is no real rules. You can just make it however you want to make it. But that can give you just like that little sense of like, oh, it's actually connected via an actual legitimate source. But yeah, you can do it that way, you can do it another way. However you want to do it. It's your bag. You can make your bag however you want to make your bag. And I'm gonna add the thing to it. And you know, these bags usually have little dots on the sides. If we right click, make a mesh, and we, you know, go in mode, select it all, and we come over to UV map, we notice that it's very much like this. And, you know, we don't know which direction it's going, what it looks like, or how this even works. If you don't know how UV mapping works, I can tell you. Very simple, very easy. All you need to worry about is the boxes. So we know that this goes all the way around and like that, right? We know it does that. So logically, we know that the more squares there are means the more squares there are on the mesh. So if we deduct that, we can know that this way would be how it would sit if it would sit normally. So by knowing that, we can easily say if we put a dot along here and a dot along there, then that would safely put the dots on either side of this. Maybe even the dot needs to be in the middle because of the way that this unwraps itself. Sorry. Either way, you just do dot dot, and that pretty much makes the dots on the side of there. And better yet, if you stretch this outwards and you make the texture just like 2 dots, as long as this is stretched outwards, it will repeat itself in this pattern. So it will be like a tile, much like all these squares. Picture one square as the like this. Like say that's the one mesh. That means the mesh up here is going to be the exact same as the mesh down here, and then down here, so on and so forth. So if we just stretch it long ways, that means the mesh in the material is going to go along all the way along here and repeat. So we don't really have to worry about that too much. That's just one easy way to do it if you want to do it that way. Yeah, that should be fine. Also, again, if you want it not to be so square and just flat like that, you can do that. If you want to give it like a hole in the center, it's pretty easy. You just extrude it and then you just delete the face. Do the exact same on the other side. Delete the face. And then we want to grab the edges and press F to fill, and then the edges again. And then boom. You got like a little key shape thing. But yeah, very simple, very quick. That's already the bag pretty much finished. Now this bag on the left has more straps to it, but you could legitimately just do the exact same process I did with the strap up here to the strap on the sides. So you could just add your straps, make sure they're in like the right position. I believe that goes G up, oops, G up, extend in, or flip that because, you know, it goes along the bottom, but we don't see the bottom, so yeah. Do this. And duplicate, or better yet, we could just go into the modifier and do mirror, so we don't have to worry about the second one. Then we go into here, object, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. That one. And if it's too thick, you can just scale it down with like with the Alt S, sorry. And yeah. Pretty cool, pretty simple. And then I think this is supposed to connect in the middle with a special fancy thing. Yeah, something like that. And I think it's meant to be the other way around though. I don't know. Do whatever. I don't make the rules. You can make the rules. Let's do Y instead, and then yeah, see? See, it's so simple, so easy. You make a mistake, it's simple to fix. I make mistakes all the time, so don't you worry, your pretty little skull. And then yeah. And then you just join it, however you want to join it. The way I will join it will be to add the extra strap on to it. So it looks like it's just add mesh plain. So this strap here looks like legitimately all it is. Oops. Is this. Excuse my brother, he's sick at the moment. I was sick recently, but I am good. We'll do this. Yeah. And then you can just like connect the bottom with F, because it's not gonna open up, it's not gonna change, so no one's really gonna see it. Doesn't matter too much. You can change this as well if you're not happy with how it's looking. You just drop it in like that. Easy bada bada bing bada boom. Do that. Move that under. Wait, why is that like that? That doesn't make any sense. Subdivide. Easier. Can't be bothered dealing with this. G, maybe even just pop that on the inside, you know, just so it's like sealed. You could even just join them together like that. That's pretty much all you need. Colors, and you can make the colors however you want to make the colors. This is just for this specific bag is this color. And yeah, you could also do this, duplicate it up here, because I know this has like a similar design. We can bring it up, shift it to the side, rotate it, and then add the middle, make the middle a bit smaller, and this one should be, oops, extended plus outwards like that. Like that. This to close off the central part, like so you want that to be closed off, you can extrude, pull it in, sorry, not extrude that part, but extrude like this, go forwards, you lock it in like that. Even this bottom part could probably just stay connected like that, and then you'd have this part kind of yeah, just in there, you know? And with that, oopsies. With that, you can add a texture to it that makes it look like it's black on the inside there, so it looks like when anybody looks off to the side to it, it looks like it's words are hard. Looks like it's fully engulfed on both sides. Yep. Drag them down, drag that down. Do the same on this side. And yeah, just make sure it goes in. It goes in. And the whole thing is nice looking. Make that go taller as well. Make this come down. And yeah, you can make it like that. You can make it multiple ways you want to make it. I actually do not like how I made this, and I will start over again. Because I am very picky. But again, we can make this smooth, so we can't really tell the difference. We can make a plane. Size it up, bring it upwards. I'm going to do this in a simple way. So we do that. We go to modifier, subdivide it, add a line, add a line. I think this is a bit too small. Yeah, that should be good. No. Maybe that. Yeah, that should be fine. Then we select. I want to select this part because we want to. Let's duplicate it, raise it up, select this, F, select F cross, select this, F, select F cross, oops. And then we can select this, select this, select this, and select that. Extend, make it smaller. What we can do from here, do we want to? Yeah. So I'm gonna squeeze it short. Select the whole thing, make it smaller, grab it across. Shape it. And then we want to add here, which lets me grab a whole lot. And we want to shape the lot. Maybe not put it like that. Shape the lot. Yeah. And with this, we can drag it down. And just, a lot of it is like a lot of fiddling with the shapes until you're happy with how it looks. I think this is pretty decent. I'm gonna do that. It's all good, all dandy. And then Mm. I don't even think I need that to go on. We can add extra if it's not setting correctly. And then boom. Make it smooth. It looks pretty smooth to me. Then we add the color. Sorry that took a while. And then boom. Actually, I think this color should be this one. Same with this one, should be this one. Yeah, it has a black outline by the looks of things, yep, and it goes around the whole lot. So, easiest way to do the little black outline the way that it is in the picture that I have is to just select the outer layers, extend the outer layers, grab a line like that, pull that on the inwards, and then select the outwards. Make it like that, and then, oops, we want to add, and what black is it? It's fabric black, so we do the matte black. And select the outwards because it looks like it goes up too much, yep. Pull it down a bit, and now it has that outline. Again, if you're not happy with it, you can easily just add an extra bit and then just move it the way that you want to move it, the way that you feel looks or makes it look better. For me, I don't like that it's not like fully angled correctly. That needs to be angled. That needs to be angled. But yeah, you can do it that way. And then bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a really nice looking bag. And if you want any extra bits, much like the tabs here, if you want the little zippers, you can easily make them just by going A, plane, move it upwards, move it across. You can do it one of two ways. You can just have a PNG of like a zip and just pop it on like a normal, you know, that's if you want to optimize all of your cuts, all of your faces. Say your avatar already has too many faces as it is. You want to cut down on that, you can easily just cut down on it. This one, I would say that would be good. G. There we go. And then that can convert into a mesh. Now it's a mesh. This is also a mesh, yep. This needs to be mirrored. Yep. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And then zipper. You can divide it like this. Make that smaller. Top is going to be a bit bigger. We can also extend the top out if we want to. And then extend again. Make it smaller. And then we can do, what is it? Bevel? Would bevel do it? Actually, bevel's pretty good. We just use the mouse wheel to scroll how much bevel it has. We can delete these two middle ones. And extend that out. And then we have a very simple zipper. Some zippers are elongated and they have that weird little rounded end to them. See that? Skinny and whatnot. But yeah, that's a simple little way to make a 3D zipper. And if you want it to be even more 3D, you can extend it that way and smooth it, and it makes it look very smooth. And then we just add the gloss thing to it. There we go. Look at that. You know what? Maybe we can even just make it rounded looking. Yeah. Yeah. And again, if you like that zipper that you made, duplicate, or you can mirror it depending on how you want to do it. Do that. Yeah. That's pretty much it. You could angle them, or you can make the little extra zip that they're on, or you can just leave them as like flat because not many people are gonna look at that detail. But yeah, that's pretty much how you make a bag from a cube. Very simple, very quick, I would say. Even though, you know, it was like half an hour. But yeah, bags are fairly simple to make. They're just cubes that are smooth. Smooth cubes. With little bits and bobs here and there. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching the video till the end. You're amazing. And keep on creating. You're doing great. With that, see you later. Bye.